Today, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event on Earth, watched by billions. But in 1930, it almost didn't happen at all. Teams refused to show up. Players crossed the ocean by boat for 2 weeks just to play. This is the story of how the World Cup was born. Before 1930, there was no global football tournament. The biggest stage for the sport was the Olympic Games. But there was a problem. The Olympics only allowed amateur players. The world's best professionals were banned from competing, which meant the so-called champion of Olympic football wasn't really the best team in the world. Enter Jules Rimet, the president of FIFA. He had a dream, a true world championship, open to every player, professional or not. In 1929, FIFA voted to make it happen. The first ever World Cup would be held in 1930, in Uruguay. Why Uruguay? 3 reasons. They were the reigning back-to-back Olympic football champions. They were celebrating 100 years of independence, and crucially, they offered to pay everyone's travel expenses and build a brand new stadium for the final. But there was a catch. In 1930, there were no commercial flights across the Atlantic. Getting to Uruguay from Europe meant 2 weeks or more on a ship. Most European nations simply refused to go. In the end, only 4 European teams made the journey: France, Belgium, Romania, and Yugoslavia. Just 13 teams played in the first World Cup. The tournament kicked off on July 13, 1930, with France beating Mexico 4-1. France's Lucien Laurent scored the first goal in World Cup history and received no medal, no bonus, nothing. He was an amateur who had to take unpaid leave from his job at a car factory to play. The final was a South American showdown, Uruguay versus Argentina, such fierce rivals that the teams couldn't even agree on which ball to use. The solution? They played the first half with Argentina's ball and the second half with Uruguay's. Argentina led 2-1 at halftime with their ball. Uruguay came back to win 4-2 with theirs. Over 93,000 fans packed the Estadio Centenario to watch Uruguay lift the very first World Cup trophy. Uruguay declared a national holiday the next day. From those 13 teams in 1930 to 48 teams and billions of viewers today. Every World Cup moment you've ever watched traces back to that one tournament. The World Cup wasn't inevitable. It was one man's stubborn idea, one country's generous offer, and one very long boat ride. Subscribe for more stories behind the sports you love.